he's taken quite a bit of battering in the weeks leading up to the election, and he got a political whipping in his constituency, like a number of his comrades as well in the last election. But I'm happy he has spoken now. He joins me. Dr. Dayton Campbell. Dr. Dayton Campbell?
Hi, good morning and good morning to you, listeners.
What makes you laugh?
Just the introduction.
Which part of it? That you got a political whipping? When you were in Parliament one day, you remember? I can't remember what was happening, and I said to you, Krystal Lee coming for you. And you said to me, you have that covered. Yeah?
I thought I did.
You miscalculated.
No, I did not expect an independent in the race.
But he was not a factor.
He was a significant factor.
No, because when even if we gave you, what's his name? Peter what?
Peter Shan.
Peter Shan's numbers. Even if we gave you those votes, Krystal Lee would still have won the election with many to spare based on my recollection of the numbers on election night. No?
Well, if you looked at it that way, then you would come to that conclusion. But if you went a little bit further to understand that it, in fact, would not have been only the vote that he got, but the disruption that it could have caused to the base of the TNT. Seeing that the persons campaigning with him are persons who, one of the individuals that managed a campaign for him in the past. And so he knew all of the TNT, so they essentially were targeting these persons. I had workers that were at LinkedIn up to July, and then by the time we got to the latter part of August, they were no longer available to work. They disrupted the whole election machine, the machine in the constituency. But I have no intentions of making excuses.
Yes.
I went into the race knowing that there was an independent in the race, and I was still backing myself to win. I didn't, and I have to accept that and live with the results of the election, and to see how to move forward while still making a contribution to my country in whatever way that is possible, and to also make a contribution to the country.
Let's talk about the indiscretion. All of us have some of those moments, as I said. I mean, we're human, and in a world now where your every thought, your every word that you put out on social media is twisted, it's analyzed, it's whatever to a fault, and sometimes, especially when you write and the tone is not heard, then people can misinterpret it. But you had a couple moments in the debate where you're representing the party on the social issues, and two moments in particular. One where you mentioned the death of Jody in relation to the coronavirus, and another where you made mention of mental illness in context where they inflamed people's passion. Have you had time to look back at those tapes and to reflect on the criticisms that came about as a result of those comments?
Yeah, but time to look back at most things that would have transpired, and I've reflected on these things. You know, we do live in a space in which, as I said, it's because of where some persons started off with me, while they came to certain conclusions. So, because, for the most part, in recent times, persons have seen me in the media either when I am making some passionate delivery or they see some form of adversarial interaction with the Minister Thompson in the Parliament or something. They got to a point that they started believing that, oh, this man is a Robbie Rose. That's all where even in the media, persons started referring to me as a top dog. Didn't quite like that labeling. So I think some of it is because their minds were already negatively skewed to what I could say. That came to some of those conclusions. I'm not going to go back over the things that were said in the debate. Persons were of a certain view. I certainly did not mean to offend anyone, but I'm not going to rehash what was said in that debate. I think that's one of the issues that I'm laying to rest and I'm just moving forward.
But to the extent that people were offended, have you not in your introspection come to a point of saying anything to those people?
Well, I just said, my intention was never to offend anyone.
Right.
And I don't want to go back to the detail of it to try and explain what it is that I was doing here, there, and...
No, man, I don't want the explanation, because I understand. So I heard what your intention was not. But what you intended, you never achieved. So the people who were offended by those comments, have you not reached the next level of apologizing for those comments?
No, it's not an apology for you. It's not like I'm going to get up and start looking back at every month, every year of my life over the last 10 years and just start apologizing. It's not an apology tour. I am simply saying that I have reached a point where I have sat down, taken myself away from the political arena for a little while and just look on at what is going on. And I have made some pronouncements based on what I have seen. In relation to those matters, I'm saying that I'm not going to rehash those, whether it is to try and provide an explanation or a justification or anything of that sort. I'm just leaving that where it is. I think for the most part, persons have buried that and they have moved past that, and I leave it there.
Just some have not. If you want to leave it there, that's for you, but some have not. And I think if you are on this introspective road to Damascus, then maybe you will need to do what I'm nudging you to do in your own time, though. In your own time, okay? Because you're obviously not there. It's not an apology.